So here we have another video of a woman exposing herself, and not necessarily just exposing herself, but exposing the dating market and exposing the downside of committing to most American women. So the downside, the downside of committing to most American women. She's going to expose all of this. And no, I don't want to see in the comments and be, that's just her. She needs to seek therapy. No, this is something that you are going to have to, that men are going to, that men deal with when you're dealing with dating or marrying, you know, being in a relationship with a woman long term. These things are going to happen. So let's take a listen to what she has to say.
Is it just me, or you be talking to somebody or even dating somebody, right? And be so in love, like just love this motherfucker. See absolutely no wrong in them, just love them. Then one day you're just like, I don't like you no more. We could be having a good day. And I just be like, I don't like you no more. I don't like the person you are. I don't like the way you move. I don't like the way you think. I just don't like you. So I want to leave. Just like that. Like, I want to go. I don't want to talk anymore. Is that just me? Is it just me, or
Interesting. Interesting. Also, let me look up a definition real quick. The definition of love bombing definition, because women love to accuse men of doing this. Um, Interesting. So here, the definition of love bombing: the action or practice of lavishing someone with attention or affection, especially in order to influence or manipulate them. Now, what she just described in her video, what she described in her video, this is what happens, especially, oh man, especially with men that don't really have a lot of experience dealing with women. When you're dealing with a woman that's coming, that knows she's about to approach that wall, so she starts, or when you're talking about an older woman dating a younger man, she love bombs that young man with sex galore, gets a last minute baby out of them, and then boom, pulls the plug. Oh, now you're on child support for 18 years. These are the things that we warn men about. This is the stuff that they don't even want us telling men about, right? That's interesting. A lot of the things that women, when you see like women complaining about men doing certain things, right? I always say most of the time it's projection. And second of all, they'll be talking about one dude that finessed her. One dude out of the millions that she has finessed. It'll have been one dude that caught on to her games. And it's not necessarily that man took advantage of her. It's just that man understood what her game was and counterattacked appropriately. And when you counterattack appropriately or adjust to her strategy appropriately where she can't affect you and you come out with a dub, she will never get over it. So and also now let's go back to what she's saying. What she's saying is so dangerous because they always ask men, why don't men want to commit? Why don't men want to put a ring on women's finger? Why don't men are not initiating? Why are men don't want to marry American women anymore? Because we look at the marriage laws, we see what happens when you put all this money into a woman, you put all your financial investments, you put kids, all this stuff, just for her to be like, I'm not in love anymore. I'm not happy, right? Shout out to Coach Greg Adams. And then she takes minimum half of your stuff. Minimum half of your stuff. That's the minimum damage she's going to do. She's going to take half your stuff. And then on top of that, separate you from your kids. It's not like, because when women leave, they just don't just leave and then just leave you alone. No. They leave, and because they try to monkey branch or they go through their little 304 phase, and then they realize, oh, damn, nothing's working out for me out there. What a lot of them do, they try to come back to you. And when you don't take them back, right, then child support gets put on you. Or if you as a man decide to move on with your life, then that's when a massive alimony gets put on you. This is when you're going to have to financially pay for her breaking up your family. This is the danger of marrying women like this, right?
or you be talking to somebody or even dating somebody, right? And be so in love, like just love this motherfucker. See absolutely no wrong in them, just love them. Then one day you're just like, I don't like you no more. We could be having a good day. And I just be like,
the danger in this mentality is, we all know if there was no implementation of no fault divorce, if there was no child support, even if women felt that way, they would not be public with it. Women say things like this in America because they know that they have so much safeguards, so much rails for this, so they can always, women can always afford to leave. So you'll hear, like, you'll even see or hear women on this app, why don't men just leave? I'm like, we can't, because financially we're putting in, because we already know you're not for that 50-50 stuff, right? And then on top of that, we know most time women are going to put themselves in a position where they are with a man that makes more than them, or they're with a man that's they're with a man that can financially take care of most of the expenses. This is why women don't want to be in a position where they're making more money than a man, because they understand women understand the divorce laws. You guys do know that, right? They understand how the divorce laws work, how child support works, how the welfare, they know how this stuff works. They don't they act like they're not privy to these things, but they are. Trust me, they are.
I don't like you no more. I don't like the person you are. I don't like the way you move. I don't like the way you think. I just don't like you. So,
and this is what happens with most American women. They'll get bored. They've already showed the studies that women are more that basically most women get bored, or what? Yeah, they get tired of monogamy more than men, basically. So sexually, they get tired of monogamous sex more than men do. You know what I mean? Now, meanwhile, like, women have done, like, they've done one of the biggest psyops jobs in history in America, in terms of projecting that all men are dogs and all men are this and blah 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 blah. And meanwhile, now that the studies are coming through, now that the evidence is coming through, now everything is pointing towards women are actually the ones that they cheat more. Women are the ones with, they most of them have a backup plan. You know what I mean? In terms of a backup man, if that doesn't work out. Now the studies are showing that women are more dissatisfied with monogamous sex more than men. Now that the studies are coming through, now we're starting to see the full picture. Now we even have to come into question the men in the past that were so-called barbarians, right? And now, because it's always painted like women were like these little victims and the men were just these. No. There was more to it than that.
well, I want to leave. Just like that. Like, I want to go. I don't want to talk anymore. Is that just me? Is it just me?
And no, it's not just her. So let's not do that thing where it's like, where are you meeting these women? This is why I don't. There's a reason. There's another. This is one of the reasons why the government, they want to shut down TikTok, because women they've been talking too much, and they've been putting men on a game in terms of how they really feel, because women love to use social media as their diary, and TikTok is the perfect platform where they use that as like their diary, because of the short form content content that they can use. It doesn't take a whole lot of work to push the material out there. So this is why they love using TikTok as their diary. And now, because of TikTok, men are literally looking at women like, wow. I'm talking about young men that used to call people in this space that I'm in now very skeptical, right? Now you have dudes dudes have made their whole entire platforms. They don't even have to talk anymore. They just come up with the compilations of the TikTok videos of girls like this talking. They just make the compilation of the videos, and then the guy will just react at the end of it, and then he'll be like, all right, just subscribe to my channel, and that's it. 100,000 subscribers. The man empowerment channel. Something like that. This is why the government really wants to shut down TikTok, because women have been using that app, and it's just been exposing them too much. Like, now the Tommy Sotomayors, the Jesse Lee Petersons, the Tom Likeses, guys that were considered quote unquote extreme, they don't seem that extreme no more. You know what I mean? So this is one of the reasons why. Okay, so also let's look at the comments section. The guy said, I will never date a black woman. Now, this is where people this is not just black women, guys. Trust me, this is not just black women. He said self-sabotage is real. Some people run because they feel undeserving of good things. No, I don't like that term, because it still makes them the victim. Nah, it still gives the person the excuse because nobody's giving what's that young basketball player that got caught with the guns but it got released? What's that Mikey Williams, whatever his name is? He self-sabotaged. John Morant self-sabotaged, but nobody giving them no because they feel undeserving of good things. No, they're like, no, you're a dumbass. But for some reason, we give women a pass on when women self-sabotage, which they usually do. Men don't really have the what's it called, the leeway to self-sabotage because they know their men's margin of error is very slim in life, very slim. So when it comes to self-sabotage and all that stuff, men don't get the benefit of the doubt when it comes to that. She said, this new generation weird as F. I see why young men after us aunties. No. You see, now this is BS. You see, now men don't fall for this either. Because now you see how women do each other. Look how women do each other. So where do you think this young lady that I just played this video, where do you think she got all this advice from in terms to date non-exclusively? Don't just commit to one. They got this advice from older women. Don't, guys. You see? And now I've even seen videos where, because there's this thing where people are realizing Gen Z are aging faster than the millennials, where the millennials look, a lot of the millennials look younger than a lot of the Gen Z people, just men and in particularly women. And instead of women coming to their defense in terms of being sympathetic and understanding their plight and why Gen Z women are, you got millennial and Gen X women in the comment sections basically making fun of Gen Z women. Meanwhile, if you ask Gen Z women, where did they get their advice from in terms of date non-exclusively, party, do what you want to do, sow your oats in college? They got all of this advice from older women. And now that they're in the predicament that they're in, now the older women are going to act like, oh, you see how these young ladies act? You got to be with... I tell you, boy, older women are terrible towards each other, bro. And look, I consider myself a hater of all. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I really don't play favorites in real life. I'm talking about regardless of gender, race. I'm talking about in real life. You know what I mean? But it's really interesting to me to see how women really feel about each other. They really look at each other as competition. All of them are chasing the top men. All of them, trying to position themselves to make themselves look better than the others, so they can get as high value as a man as possible. And man, it's so like, I'm talking about, like, even men, we could be beefing with each other on some real serious shit, coming to blows and everything. But when it's time to give some advice, where you see a young dude, and you can tell he didn't get the advice, even if you feel a certain type of way towards the dude because you feel like he has an advantage, but he comes to you literally like, what should I do? Nobody told me this. You actually, as a man, most men, when they're in that position, they still be like, okay, this is what you need to do so you can get to a better place in life. This just happened to me recently. You just meet a younger dude you don't even know, and then you realize, damn, somebody even tell him you could go this route. Why? And I told him, why don't you take this route? There's still a way for you to succeed in this. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Women, when they give advice to each other, they sabotage each other, dog. They just try to sabotage each other. That's crazy. That's interesting, man. Anyway, I'm just gonna sign off on that note. Women are terrible towards each other, bro.